by just typing !bracket in chat, and you get to see all of the action, including this top 16 qualifier that we're going to be seeing, featuring SolarBeam and fastcree, who we alluded to prior, more Sephiroth and Villager. Not many a time you see Villager outside from Pokéland, but you know, it's a type of character that Sephiroth can struggle with a little bit. One of the lesser weaknesses that isn't often exploited because just of how certain kits go. Sephiroth's really tall, and that's really good for Villager fare.
Yeah, you know, if he wasn't, you know, hell-bent on world domination, Sephiroth would probably dunk on some people in the NBA. He's got to be like 6'7", 6'8", and those slingshots are going to be really difficult for him to deal with.
You know, I think canonically, Sephiroth's only like 6'1".
What?
But he just strikes an imposing figure.
Oh, wait. Did they just pocket the counter?
I think so, yeah.
That is terrifying.
Or at the very least, they tried to.
Well, it definitely looks like they have something. As you can see from the indicator on the screen.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a reason Soul is playing so lax, only trying to occasionally catch landings with dash attack and poke a little bit. But those counters are, like, you can throw them out on the active hitbox that is Void and get a pretty decent bit of mileage, though. It counting as a projectile is definitely scary and a lot of moments.
Yeah, so Wing is out. That's very important to note. And Soul is just trying to get back on stage. You know, the slingshots, the Lloyd rockets, everything is working against him. Yep, there it is. There it is. That did like 50% and killed at like 100. I know it is Sephiroth, but still, that's why I was really worried about that about the pocket.
I mean, you're right to worry. Not only does Scintilla have the highest damage scaling for any counter in the game, period, but it also gets an additional buff from being pocketed. So that move was killing the heaviest characters at like 120.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, dude, come on. That's terrifying. But don't jump around Sephiroth. He has the Masamune, and that is gonna hurt taking that stock. And SolarBeam not quite as out of this anymore.
Yeah, the Wing always gives you just that extra little bit of comeback factor. It is it's powerful in its very own way, and it's ridiculously own way. So trying to smother a character like Villager with your added range and increased speed, 3 jumps, just Villager almost has to rely on Fair and Bear to keep you out. But the raw jab as a way to cover spot dodge, it's definitely an option, and the damage needs to stay in fastcree's favor if he wants to keep SolarBeam on the back foot and keep him from just waiting out all the shenanigans that fastcree has been setting up. But
shout out to avoiding that bowling ball, but the Nair is gonna kill. Okay.
Man, he didn't turn it around. I'm pretty sure that was a dead Villager if he had turned around the up B. But now he's kind of back in the same spot. You can wait outside of Villager's effective range all you want, but how do you find this kill when you're at a deficit?
When Villager just wants pretty content to hop around, shoot the slingshot, throw the Lloyd rockets, build trees. It's definitely something that SolarBeam has been struggling with a little bit. No pocket going to be coming out there, and the Mega Flare is going to be knocking him off stage, but the angled down F tilt going to be taking the stock.
Yeah, just ever so slightly angled down. Don't need to catch too much, but you do need to respect those Lloyd rockets.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, no, Villager's kind of nuts when they have the means and the room to operate. And Sephiroth absolutely gives you the room to work, particularly since Soul was, like, he was so committed to Blade Charge and Octo Slash just from straight horizontal, which is normally really hard to mess with. Octo Slash is really big, but that's where Lloyd Rocket comes in and doesn't really care.
Yeah, Lloyd's just gonna kind of hit you. Doesn't matter if you trade with it. It's gonna be. It's not gonna go down after a couple minor hits. It's gonna keep on trucking the gyroid way.
Yeah, but But I understand why he's doing it, though, right? He doesn't want to get hit by bowling ball. Like, that's priority 1 to avoid because it kills you earlier.
Yeah, Sephiroth probably dies at 60 if they get hit off stage by bowling ball.
Could be earlier. That move's crazy.
Yeah, that was kind of insane, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, Villager just has like so much good stuff, including being able to pocket things like Shadow Flare. Great timing on fastcree's part. Like, they have so much good stuff, but they're almost called out by not necessarily like what they lack, but rather the meta game that has currently existing for Smash Ultimate. Like, not necessarily in an online sense, but the characters that are popular just kind of do really good against Villager. But maybe this is one of those characters that will show off, like, hey, like, I'm good against Sephiroth. Maybe counterpick viability is here. And fastcree showing off just the amount of options that the little boy from Smashville has got, or little girl from Smashville has got in her pockets.
Little individual from Smashville.
Yeah.
The Inhabitant. Oh. Yeah, the bowling ball. That's a strike, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, when do we get a Final Fantasy crossover game where it's just bowling?
Oh god, I don't know if I want that.
I do. We already got a Mystery Dungeon crossover.
Yeah, but bowling is a little bit different from.
Dude.
Alas.
As long as they get the announcer from Wii Sports, I'm about it.
That man went hard. Like, he was.
He did.
He was respecting his position, and you know what? So does. It looks like SolarBeam's gonna have to apply a little bit more respect to the positioning that fastcree's been putting on. Like, half of this stage has almost been off limits constantly, but Sephiroth has never done what he's told. So, why start now?
yeah. Why start now? You come on. All right. So, honestly, fastcree just kind of has to keep their distance, not get hit by any of these dumb shenanigans from Sephiroth. I think Max Ketchum put it best when he said that Sephiroth really feels like a villain character because there's that cheese factor that Sephiroth has. That, you know, they can pull these tricks on you, and that's really important because Sephiroth could pull this out of nothing right now, despite how down SolarBeam is, almost a full stock.
Yeah, he's really committed to using Scintilla as a means to counter the gyroid, which is fine in theory, but you do anything so many times and it's eventually gonna keep getting punished and punished steadily harder. Whether it just be fair or bigger swings like these down airs, losing ground to Sephiroth can be very, very punishing, particularly against a character that dominates space so well. Like, jumps getting called out, like things getting sniped from like a quarter of the stage away.
Yeah,
it's hard.
I definitely do think that Scintilla is had right now by the Villager. And, you know, shout out to fastcree. Fastcree is working really hard to get these offstage kills, but that Scintilla is going to be going in the favor of SolarBeam. Wing is still on deck, though. So every little bit of damage is going to be doing a lot more. 13% on just the last 2 hits of Octo Slash. Going to be avoiding the bowling ball as well. Back on stage, the pocketed Shadow... Or, excuse me. Mega Flare?
Mega Flare, yeah.
Mega Flare!
And that one, you can be a little bit more lax with, because as we saw, it does go the furthest out of the 3 flare form. Well, it travels at one of the higher speeds overall, but hey, Blade Charge to ledge works, Blade Charge to mid-stage works great against characters in shield, and works great as a landing mix-up, but that's kind of where Villager presents this awkward challenge for a lot of characters, especially a lot of the taller